Well, it's May of the 14th, Mother's Day, and 2023 at 7:47 p.m. in Vernon, British Columbia. That's in Canada. So, I suppose everybody had a good Mother's Day. I'm going to talk a little bit about Mother's Day, and don't start throwing shoes just yet, because most likely a lot of people are going to take this the wrong way. There's one thing that I've sort of wondered about for quite a while, and that is, well, days like Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever. These are secular days that people have, decided we're going to have a Mother's Day and a Father's Day. This is not a day, designated by God or anything else. It's not a holy day or anything. But I kind of feel sometimes that it gets carried away. In a way, I certainly don't have anything against a Mother's Day. I people like to celebrate with their family and whatever, and children by, I don't know if they're kind of driven into it by custom or what, but they do honor their mother. Now, I can't see anything really wrong with that. I can't, because God even says to honor your father and your mother. Now, that's honoring your father and mother, but their days may be long upon the land. But somehow or another gets to be taken that a mother is very special person and whatever. Well, I guess in one way God made it special, because mothers aren't born. Mothers are created. They are only created when they become pregnant with a child and carry a child. And the thing is, how do they become pregnant? They don't do that on their own. And their husband or partner or whatever carries the seed, that is basically the seed of life, I guess. I don't know. It takes that to get the life going. The woman is carrying the egg that she gets every 28 days, and this egg pillow or whatever it is entered by the sperm, thousands at a time in there, and one finally makes it in, and the whole idea is that when it makes it in, bang, everything else stops. None of the others try to get in. It won't let any others in, and life starts right there. That obviously has to be that way. Now, when that happens, it appears that God gives that egg a spirit, and that's the spirit of man or woman or whatever, but it's the spirit of human spirit. Now, the man does it automatically. He's not he carries the seed. He didn't create it. Only God created that. And the thing that gets overlooked, I think, is that this plan, this wonderful plan, and I mean you can have a big W on that. It's amazing. I mean, how do you explain the beginning of life like that? I mean, to have it arranged that way, that, 2 cells starts, and then 4 and 8 and 16 and 32. The next thing you go get millions, billions of cells all getting together and creating another human being. And it has a likeness to the ones that it's coming from. Now, the woman didn't have anything to do with the creation of that life. The man only had it by the fact that he carried the seed that he carries in him. And that is the spark of life. That's what starts it all. But it's God who arranges the whole thing and the creation of another human being. Now, the plan is what is missing here, that people aren't honoring, worshiping that plan, or I don't know if that's the right word, but to be in awe of it, actually. Now, when people put a big emphasis on mother, they're saying that, mother gave me life and all this stuff. Mother didn't give you life. She carried you. The life was planted in her, and by God's plan of a male and a female. And she carried you. She is the one that carries you. She has the consequences of the sex act. The man has no consequences for the actual sex act. Not physical. The woman does. Now, the thing is, that is a honorable position to be in. I believe God honors mothers. I believe that. And, that's a pretty big honor. Now, the thing is, it's not because she created life. She didn't create life. She carried it. That was the whole thing. She has the womb, she carries it. And the child develops and becomes either son, daughter, family member. So when we have Mother's Day and Father's Day, Mother's Day is has much more connotation to it than Father's Day does. And the adoration and the emphasis on it is all towards the mother or the woman, without recognizing how it all got there. And I kind of think that there's the missing part is the honoring God who created the plan and has arranged the whole thing each time, now for billions of times. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with daughters and sons honoring their mother or their father. But in this case, you have Mother's Day, which is a much bigger day than Father's Day is. And, there can't be anything really too wrong with that, except there should be some recognition that you didn't have anything to do with it other than carry it, and that God is the one who arranged the whole miraculous thing every time. And without recognition of that, I think there's something wrong. And people have to realize that this day is a made-up day. It's just a day that people got together and said, oh, we should have a Mother's Day, and then they said, well, to have that, we should have a Father's Day. Well, I guess if you have one, you have the other. But it's the honoring of fathers and mothers is commanded by God Almighty who says you should honor your mother and your father. But the business of saying that my mother, gave me life and all that, you ought to be careful with that, because that's not true. No, she carried you. She brought you. Brought you forth from an egg to a human. She carried you, but she had nothing to do with it. Everything was automatically done. And her role was to carry you. The father's role was to plant the seed in the egg that she carries. That creates a human. So, I don't want to sound like down on Mother's Days or anything, but the emphasis should be on the plan and who is in charge of the plan and who created the plan and where your actual life comes from. And okay, that's about it. I hope you don't shoot the messenger. It doesn't mean anything bad. It just maybe wants to remind people that who it is you're supposed to worship, and keep that straight. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. And I wish you good luck and good life and happy days, and God bless you. And if there's any repercussion to this, I'll just have to hide under the table for a while. Thank you.